everyone, welcome back. This is part 3 of our physical assessments in Healthcare 1. So I have our client here today, Kat. She's going to demonstrate for us a forward fold and I'll talk us through an assessment. We're also looking at tree pose and a little bit of cervical ROM, so looking at movement in the neck. So beginning with forward fold, Kat, you are welcome to use the wall here. I know we already went through a little demo, but if you just want to start coming forward, and the wall is here for us. We could use a chair instead if we're taking care of our low back. And I'm just going to have her start walking her hands down. She's keeping neutral spine for the most part. And of course, when she does go into what she feels for her is the full expression of the pose, you will see some softening in the spine. So there's just the slightest bit of cervical and thoracic flexion. She does not have lordosis. I see that she has some softening or some rounding here in the low back. This is exactly what we're looking for in this assessment. So I'm also seeing as she goes forward, her knees stayed soft and she has kept her foundation in her feet on this assessment. So while she is here, I'm also able to come to the side. I'm seeing that her hips are level. So I'm not seeing one hip lifted or down. Quite literally, the hips are completely parallel to the ceiling. All right, let's have you walk the hands back up, Kat, and let's see how your body feels when you come up too. So as she's coming up, she also has nice form. The body stays neutral, spine is neutral. Returning to mountain, we can see all joints are stacked. Great job. All right, the next assessment's tree pose for balance. So for tree pose, this is one you're familiar with. For tree pose, picking whatever foot is your favorite foot right now. Shifting into that foot, we're lifting the other leg and then turning the knee out to the side. Now, I can see in the assessment, maybe I wonder if you can see it too, but there's a little bit of movement in her leg. And again, I just want to add that this particular assessment or any of these assessments can be really affected by the type of floor that you're on. I do work on a softer floor as a yoga therapist pretty consistently, and just taking that factor into consideration that anytime you're doing an assessment on a spongy or a softer floor, it is going to be a little more challenging for the foundation when you are weight bearing into your feet and knees. So this is great. You were here 3 to 5 cycles of breath. Good. If you want, you're welcome to try the other side. So we do assess left and right. Let's see what the other side looks like. And what I'm seeing is the same wobbliness too in the foundation. So that definitely tells me that the factor is going to be the floor that we're dealing with in this. So for this particular one, you could always offer a chair off to the side for support or have somebody stand closer to a wall. Also, the foot could stay on the floor. It does not have to be symmetrical in nature. Perfect. That's great. All right, let's move into cervical ROM. So looking at the neck. So for cervical ROM, we're just going to look at the chin as we track it as far as we can over to the left without moving the shoulders. And then we bring it over to center, take it over to the other side. And as she's holding it, I'm going to walk around so that I'm able to see. As she's turning left and right, I am looking to see if the shoulders are changing elevation at all, if there's any compensation of muscles that might be pulling through the scalenes or the deltoids. And what I'm seeing today is she does have pretty consistent, pretty much the same range of motion from left to right. The next one is just to take the chin down, straight down. Good. And then bringing the head to neutral and bringing the head up. A lot of range of motion there too. And then bringing it to center. And if you want, you're welcome to bring your ear over to your right shoulder and maybe just roll along the jawline really slow all the way through center to the other side. And are you noticing any pain, any discomfort? These are the questions that we would ask in the assessment. I know that Kat has had in the past, she did have an impingement or a pinched nerve that did affect some sensations down one of her arms. So as we're going through the session, whether you have that intake information or not, checking in with the client and just asking, Is there any discomfort with any of this movement? And wherever there is that discomfort, just pausing and making note of that. And maybe the client doesn't describe it as discomfort, it just could be a sensation that is different for them. So making any notes of any sensations that might seem unusual or different that we might want to work around. All right, let's take a little break and we'll go on to our next assessment.